Hello, welcome back. Today, I need to plane some maple. And maple being so, a little prone to some tear out when you hit some figure, I want to go ahead and put a secondary bevel on my planer knives. And I do that with a joining attachment. This joining attachment has a stone down at the bottom, and it'll come in contact with the planer knives as the planer's spinning. And then I'll crank it across, and we'll actually develop a perfect cutting circle. And through doing that, in between grindings, I can just touch up the secondary bevel and improve the cut, improve the planing, without having to regrind the knives. Now, you can only do it a few times. It's said that you can't put much more than a 1/16 width you can see the secondary bevel. If you make that secondary bevel and you wire in a 1/16, it's getting to be a little too much. And then you're going to start, developing maybe the back edge of the knife smacking the wood. We don't want that. But I'm going to go ahead and turn on the 3-phase converter so that we can fire this planer up. And I'll show you. This is my 20 horsepower 3-phase converter. What I do is I get the 20 horsepower motor spinning with a single phase. And then engage the disconnect, and we are now generating the third leg of 3-phase. So we'll go over here to the other side. And get the old Whitney planer fired up. Sorry for the shaky camera work, but had to move around the shop a little bit. So we'll go ahead and fire up the Whitney. We don't need to turn on the actual drive circuit, or the feed circuit. We're just going to power up the cutter head. "15 horsepower, 3-phase. See how nice that powered up? So now the cutter head is actually turning, and we're going to go across with our knife joiner. You can hear it just touching the knives. So I'll make one pass across, come back and adjust it down just until I get a little bit of spark. And once I make the second pass, I'll adjust it from the other end and bring it across. Because I'm sure that the stone is being wore down as it travels across the head. I'll break this wing nut loose and adjust this down just to get that little bit of spark. And I'll repeat this 2 or 3 times. And that's all there is to joining the cutter head. But if your planer has a grinding bar and a grinding setup and a joiner head, look, be extremely careful, but don't be afraid to use it.